No slides.
Hey guys, nice to meet you all, and thanks for the opportunity given to tell you a little bit more about Inco. Have heard about it like a few times because we've invested in some of the startups that previously pitched it. So I founded Inco 7 years ago from now. So it's an impact investing fund. So we're mainly investing in companies that try to tackle the major social environmental issue, and we use finance as a tool for doing that. Of course, we have a return on investment, but at the same time, we measure through 600 criteria the main impact of our 60 companies that we have in our portfolio right now. I wanted to share with you the story of Inco and a little bit what inspired me, because when I started 6 years ago, I got inspired by someone. It may be a little bit unusual, but you have heard about him. He was a football player, and he said something absolutely great. And he usually says lots of great things, but this time I really got inspired by him. It's Eric Cantona. Eric Cantona used to be a very famous French player playing in the UK and playing for France in the 90s. And just after the financial crisis, he said to his fans and to the community that is following him that if we want to make the financial world change, and if we want to change the whole system, we should next week go to our bank, take our money, and then leave. And so the system will crawl down, will disappear, and we could build a new one. I thought it was a very interesting thing, even though lots of people and lots of journalists used to say that it was crazy, that it makes no sense. But actually what it really inspired me is the fact that actually the money doesn't belong necessarily to banks or to financial institutions, but we have the power. We as individuals, we have the power of that money, and we could do and use finance as a wonderful tool if we want to change things and if we want to change the world. And actually, that's how I came to this idea of creating a fund that would be a classical financial fund with, of course, a return on investment, but on the same time, having a very, very strong impact socially and environmentally. And the idea was to convince the investors to put their money where their heart is. And if they want to make a change, if they want to change the world, if they want to fight against inequalities, against pressure on natural resources, they could use finance. Because finance is just a tool, like a hammer, for example. With a hammer, you can build a house, a beautiful house, but you can also smash someone's face. So finance is the same. It's a tool, and it needs to be only and remain a tool. So the idea was really to create a fund like that in Europe. So we're now investing in more than 60 countries, and to help and support this new generation of startups and this new generation of entrepreneurs that is really conscious about the huge challenges that we're facing right now. And what is really interesting is that we grew up, we developed our activities, but next to the financial kind of activity that we've developed, we just figured out that there were lots of young people that actually also had a great project, but they were not necessarily investment ready. And so it's why we decided, besides our investment fund, also to create incubation and an acceleration program so we can help and support the different young people and this new generation of entrepreneurs that is really committed to change things. And we started in one place, in Paris, but actually we grew up in more than 20 countries where we developed this kind of programs besides the investment part. And I think that we might think that this kind of funds and this kind of ideas might be maybe specific to France or to French people, because we're very we're very conscious about the social issues and this kind of thing. But what is really, really interesting in all the deals and all the people we're meeting all over the world, in Africa, in America, in Asia, everywhere, is that really this next generation of entrepreneurs, they don't necessarily see themselves as social or green entrepreneurs, but they know that when they create a company, they also need to focus on the social and environmental impact they have. And it's very, very important to them. And lots of people of this young generation is really keen to do that and keen to use as well, like the hammer with finance, to use entrepreneurship as a way also to change things. It's a new kind of way of doing politics is to become an entrepreneur and to develop projects while being also well aware of the necessity of making money. But you can totally conciliate money and meaning at the same time. That's what we try to prove every day. And I'm really happy because we've raised a lot of money ultimately also for developing new projects. So if you have ideas, projects, companies that have this strong impact and you feel that you need an investor also to come along with you in this journey, we're more than happy to welcome you and to work with you, because I think we're building somehow the future, and there are still a lot of things that needs to be done, but I think that this next generation, this new generation is going to be able to make a very drastic and important change. Thank you so much.